Now, I know you don't like to brag about yourself, but I want to give you a chance to just take a second here. Tell us what you're working on. Like, I mean, I know you're working on some big stuff, so give you a chance to just brag a little bit, let everybody know that this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and sort of in this industry, the way that the way that people know you're credible is if you're actually doing it. So we have a brand called Boom by Cindy Joseph. It'll do between 20 and 25 million in revenue this year. I've got another couple brands that'll do a couple million. So I'm actually out there every day. My team is 40 people. I'm doing this stuff. And what's similar to what you guys do at Digital Marketer, we've found it to be really enjoyable and profitable to share what we're doing. And lately what we've started doing is building software. So basically, like, it's really hard if you're an e-commerce business owner to get your technology stack, correct. There's just so many things going. So we've started to kind of build things for our own business and share that with the community as well.
Well, let's jump into that. I mean, the technology stack is something that confuses people, especially when they're getting started, or maybe they did get started and they're like, wow, I'm kind of outgrowing the technology stack I'm on. So what are you recommending right now, especially in terms of like the e-commerce platform?
Yeah. Well, I think the only platform to use at this point is Shopify. Now, when I got into the game, there was OS Commerce, Xcart, Zencart, Magento, Yahoo Store. There was all these platforms. And they were sort of like, now they're like legacy platforms, right? Like the way that the electrical grid in the United States is built, the electrical grid, compared to some other countries who built it after, it's really outdated and not done super well, and there's just things that people learned and did better. So Shopify, BigCommerce, and Volusion, those were like the three platforms that sort of came after the legacy group and made things better. And over the last couple years, Shopify has really won that race. Their user interface is really simple, the payment integration is really simple, and what makes them the best is that they have the most users. And having the most users means that all the developers who develop cool stuff, like my company, want to do it for the platform that has the most users. So because they have the most users, they end up getting the most integrations and third-party apps. And there's just like, they've really, really won this race.
Yeah, it's kind of like, with us on the content side, I'm on the content side with WordPress. You just have this giant base and everybody's developing around it, and, they're just the clear winner.
There's nothing like it, Yeah.
All right, so what about the help desk? So, I've heard you say a lot of times customer service is important. You got to pay attention to it. What are you recommending right now with the help desk?
Okay, so help desk is kind of tough, right? There's one out there now called Help Scout, and that's sort of like what everyone's using. That's kind of like the new version. There's some old legacy platforms like Zendesk and things like that. We're still on Zendesk, and the reason we're still on Zendesk is because Help Scout, which is sort of the the one everyone's using now, doesn't have all the integrations Zendesk has. Zendesk is a little complicated, and it's got it's not as pretty to use. It's not as easy to use, but it has the most integrations. For example, if someone Facebook messages me, if someone calls me, if someone emails me, if someone live chats me, any one of those inbound communication channels, it all goes to this one platform in Zendesk.
They all
create a ticket.
Everything creates a ticket.
And not only that, when someone calls, my agents, my customer support agents, they have headsets and they log into Zendesk, they say I'm online. The call doesn't come on a phone, it comes in through the voice over IP, they just see it coming in, they click accept, and they're connected. So everything is in this one place, and there's not really any other customer support system that I know of that's easy to use and affordable for small business owners. There's stuff out there, there's desk.com, there's a bunch of stuff, but it's not affordable the way Zendesk is.
Salesforce.com, all that stuff's just too enterprise.
Yeah.
What about live chat? So I know, every site I've been on that you own, I see live chat enabled. How important is live chat, and what are you recommending right now?
People expect to be able to talk to a human being. When it comes to retail today, they expect that they can get somebody in some kind of digital communication before they make a purchase decision. So live chat's huge. Now, I will say that for many years, we didn't have the staff necessary. We didn't have the money to have someone on live chat. So what we did was we had a little chat box that said, "Hey, chat with us." And when you popped it up, it said, "Hey, submit your message here. We'll get back to you as soon as we, in 24 hours." So that's a way that you can have live chat without actually having someone on. Again, there's a new live chat out there called intercom.io, and it's like, man, it's cool. The interface is cool. You can do a lot of stuff with it. You can push messages. It's amazing, but it still does not have the ease of integration that a legacy chat platform. I use a legacy chat platform called Olark. I've been using Olark Chat since 2007. That's how long I've been using them. However, I do suspect that at some point we will switch to Intercom. And I do suspect that at some point we will switch to Help Scout. So I think we're going to make that jump the same way we jumped from Magento to Shopify, but we're not quite there yet. It's going to be a couple years.